Hello, hello, Gemini. Hope you guys are doing great. Welcome to the Sapphire Spider Oracle channel. If it's your first time being here, thanks for stopping in. I think this is a good check-in for Lionsgate. I'm using the Wild Unknown Tarot because it has a lovely lion card in here. And let's just see what's coming through the 8/8 Lionsgate portal for you. So, let's get started. Sorry I haven't been to the channel in a while. Kind of popped at me. Sorry I haven't been to the channel in a while. There we go. I just had to focus on my everyday work for quite a while, and it was important. So, but we're back, and here we go. Here's your first card. Four of Pentacles. Hang on, I'm just getting a sense for what it's trying to say. My vision was like pulsing on it, and that's where it's kind of pointing out more of this cross within it today, because it really pointed out the yellow here in the center. So this is your solar plexus energy is kind of what I'm sensing. Yeah, like if this is a person, this is your solar plexus energy. There's a little bit of feeling a little restricted and bound. It just said the word schedule. It just said, right, just responsibilities, general things that come in with Pentacles. You know, it could just be financial responsibilities. So it could just be money-wise, things are a little tight. But I'm kind of getting more, like I said, it was about a person. And again, coming through that solar plexus energy. It just now, it's getting really detailed now. So it's saying how these strings right here aren't all, they're not fully aligned. Everything's pretty much in spot where it needs to be. And my right foot just kind of went, ee. So I think that message is definitely correct. It's not fully aligned here in the center at the solar plexus. So what does that do, Gemini? It can go one of both ways. It can either be you're very egotistical and kind of too focused on pleasures of the flesh, boosting your self-image, things like that. In the opposite way, and I'm kind of okay, now this kind of is, I think it's a little more in this opposite way. It's like not feeling confident, right? Not feeling empowered, feeling a little bound up, like it just can't radiate and shine quite like you want it to. That might be because of financial constraints. That might be because of resource and time constraints. But there's something not fully aligned in the dead center, in that solar plexus, in the confidence and power area. And it does need to be better aligned. This stack right here was like sticking in my hand, so I think this is it. Okay, that is not the first time I've seen this message in this batch of readings, so I'm actually going to start right here. What's happening is there's some stuff that's got to come down. That can just be in your mind space, and again, your confidence, your willpower. And look at this immediately, just boom, like, okay. So I've already had this message for, I think it was Capricorn. This tree, this tower, needed to come down. And the reason why it needed to come down is because you're making room for this fresh, this is an Ace of Wands, that's essentially mirroring this tree. As I'm doing this reading, there is actually energy, and I mean, of course, you can just call it eating food not too long ago, but there's energy moving up. I'm telling you, there's stuff right here. It's trying to move. Your confidence, your power, your stuff in your center, in your solar plexus is trying to move, and it just can't quite like get out. There's something that needs to come down within that idea. Again, if you're being overly egotistical, that can be a big tower, and then you get knocked down a few pegs, right? If it's more of a underconfidence issue, then that's the tower that needs to come down. What is making you feel unconfident? What is making you feel restricted and bound up a little bit where you can't fully shine, right? Either way, no matter how it resonates with you, that energy is what has to come down and is coming down through this Lionsgate portal. When it does, there's a fresh, brand new tree right underneath it waiting to grow. And that's where I was saying in Capricorn's reading that this is almost like a big old shell that needs to come off, because there's something else within this tree waiting to grow. And often, sometimes when you cut a tree, you see it sprouts right out of the stump and keeps trying to grow, right? And that's essentially what it's bringing to me. Woo, okay, it just tied up to the cross there, and it brought me a verse from Isaiah in the Bible that's, and I can't remember the exact wording and the exact verse, but it was basically saying how God would sweep the land, clear the land of course, as a representation, it was all the people that were quote-unquote evil. But he was saying how he was going to bring destruction to the land if they didn't repent and stop sinning, and that from the stump, a new tree would grow, a new seed would grow. So that's literally just the analogy it's showing to me. So there's literally going to be some stuff just like wiped off the board. And it needed to happen because this new tree deserves to grow. This said this deserves to grow. Okay? And that's where you might have been bound up. You might have felt like, and yes, coming back to that solar plexus, you deserve good things, Gemini. You deserve good things. And sometimes that's where you might be afraid of being seen as egotistical and things like that. And it's just, that's where your confidence has to be humble but in place for you to properly manifest. And you need the right wand in order to manifest. If you're trying to manifest with a freaking pine tree, that's just a little ridiculous, right? I was talking about like going and getting a switch. How like you have to go get the right kind of switch, and some folks try and drag back a big dead tree branch, and they'll go send you back out to get another switch. So there's a little bit of a kid vibe here, discipline. You can definitely see that in the Four of Pentacles. Got to pick the right thing. This isn't about getting whooped or anything, though. That's the point. You need the right wand. And it just said something like Harry Potter, you need the right wand. And now it just went zoop, and it like literally jumped up to this Knight of Wands. So now you understand some things have to be cleared, annihilated almost in a sense, so that a fresh tree can grow out of the stump so that you can get the correct wand. And that's when it went whoop, because in Harry Potter, the wand selects you, right? The wand selects you and it calls to you, and that's where it went whoop. So once this happens, look at it getting out of this little triangle here, and it goes whoop, and it gets out of that edge. It's like it breaks that boundary right there. So now, yes, that's your Kundalini energy, right? And exactly with this red and orange and yellow here, that's your root sacral up to your solar plexus chakra, and honey, just starts to shine. Just starts to shine. Once you get this new Ace of Wands, which Ace of Wands can be a letter, a message, an idea. Maybe you want to start writing a book, you want to paint, you want to create, feeling powerful, again, feeling confident. There's just something new that comes along. Once you get that feeling or that thing, you get the idea to start something new, you just take to it. That's why it's wrapped around it, this Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands is always on the go. And is definitely somebody, though, that rises to the occasion when called, very fiery, passionate energy, gets in, gets out, gets the job done. This is your Kundalini immediately rising and your confidence shining. So this needs to come down, period. Done. And just wrap that whole message up. This Mother of Pentacles here and this King of Pentacles over here, both very much on this kind of support team. So let me kind of feel this out though. He looks worried. A little bit. It's just the way his eye is drawn in this King of Pentacles. It's kind of staying over here. It's not talking about that yet. So now it's kind of comparing the Knight of Wands to the King of Pentacles. It's kind of showing me how this Knight of Wands, which is a Son of Wands, the Knight of Wands, like I said, rises up. That Kundalini rises up, and it's almost like this snake is chasing this King of Pentacles away, which is very strange and unusual, because a King of Pentacles energy is usually very confident in themselves. Okay. There was a message that came through on that one. The King of Pentacles is a deer, right? A stag, obviously a much bigger animal than a snake. And that's where something came through here, and it was like, I'm tired of you stepping on me. So it's like, that's where it's like the snake rears up to defend itself and is like, hey dude, stop stepping on me, right? And now it's kind of showing me these cords like they're snakes, okay? Again, with that confidence center. If your Kundalini it's all coiled up right now. It hasn't risen yet. There's something this is an awakening. It can definitely be like a sharp wake up. It could be something really super positive. It could be something a little more on that negative side, but there's something that's like, switch, right? The light switch comes on and boom, there it rises up. Hey, it's like a cobra. It's like, wow. It just said King Cobra, and that's where it's a Knight of Wands, but it's trying to say that, like, no, I'm bigger than that. Okay, there we go back to that ego thing. No, I'm bigger than that. I'm a King Cobra. It says not quite. Not quite, right? But you definitely, that's where it's kind of showing me the light shining off this King of Pentacles and this Knight of Wands, and it's like, but I got a light of my own. I might not have the pentacle yet. I might not be a king yet, but, right? At this moment, I feel like a King Cobra. So there is a bit of that ego energy, but at the same time, like it said, that's the warning. That's the warning. Don't get into the ego trip part of it. But yes, your Kundalini rises up, and part of it is to possibly strike back because you're defending yourself. You might have been stepped on. It's showing me these pentacles more as hoof marks now. It's like you've been stepped on and tied up a little bit. And that's where this is kind of chasing a King of Pentacles away. Now, a King of Pentacles is a pretty stable, steady energy most of the time. A King of Pentacles is always keeping an eye out on his family and his home. And that's where this feels more like what the King of Pentacles is kind of saying. Like, you know, always keeping an eye out on their house and their home, their resources, their time, and their money. But obviously, something was getting kind of stepped on. There's tension in here. There's tension in here. Somebody was getting stepped on. And maybe they didn't mean to. And I think that's where this King of Pentacles feels bad. It's like, I didn't mean to, right? I didn't mean to. It just showed me this Queen of Pentacles, which has a little baby curled up next to it. And, okay. It was showing me her neck and her head and then comparing it to the snake. So this might be you, Gemini. This might just be a representation of your confidence and your Kundalini. It might not. I was kind of getting the sense of like 3 people. And technically there is a baby here. But now I'm kind of getting more of the sense of 2 people. 2. Which is totally a Gemini number, right? There's a double message here. For some of you, this is happening within yourself. Your masculine and your feminine energies. Your Kundalini. For some of you, this is 2 different people, you and someone else, or you and someone else. This is starting to feel more like, and the reason why, it showed me her neck and her head and how it was up too, right? Like up. And so that's where she's just kind of sitting here watching all of this action. Very observant energy, like keeping an eye on this interaction to see, oh shit, what's going on, what's happening, right? But at the same time, it equated her head and her neck to that Kundalini. And that's where we get this green, blue, purple. That is the feminine energies. Those are your higher energies. Those are your higher chakras. And they do clue in to your full Kundalini awakening. Whoa, that message just came through hardcore. Okay, yes. These higher energies definitely clue into your Kundalini awakening, because once your snake rises, once the Kundalini snake rises up to that solar plexus, the next place to go is that heart and the throat and the third eye and the crown with that green, blue, purple. She's getting an awakening. She's getting a wake-up call. And yet it feels like this is possibly all happening within this Queen of Pentacles. So now this is starting to definitely feel like a money situation. There's a little baby right here. So it might not just be about the snake saying, hey, you stepped on me. It's that mom and that baby being like, hey, you stepped on me. And that's where with the Pentacles, it's more like, hey, you aren't being a full-on King of Pentacles. You aren't taking care of us. In fact, you're kind of stepping on this. Yes, that's what I'm saying. All of this feels like the Kundalini stuff. Like these three cards go together. It rises up. She finds her confidence as this Queen of Pentacles. Hey, you stepped on me. You stepped on us. You're not, and that's where he's very much, his pentacle matches more of this. It's like, and these aren't fully filled in like his, where it's solid black. It's like, you're not giving us your time. You're not giving us your money, the food, the resources I need. And as a mom, right, there's no black filled in here. It's like, you've left me with nothing. They're coming in as Queen and King because this is definitely possibly a couple. This is definitely, that's the comparison. It's all filled in over here. All the holes are filled in over here. King of Pentacles is taken care of. Okay? King of Pentacles is taken care of. But has only been given partial attention to the matters that this Queen of Pentacles is bringing up. And she's not in her card alone. She's got this baby right here. And her pentacle is not filled in at all. And that's where we keep coming back to it. Yes, that's where it keeps coming back to this. And it's just like, yo, this has to stop. This partial given, not really, right, everything's bound up and tight. Like, this has got to stop. You're giving me nothing. Maybe you think you're giving me enough, this partial stuff, but really, like, that's not enough. There's two of us over here. We got to take care of this. Confidence rises up. And that's where the Tower strikes. That is the Tower, this Knight of Wands, because it strikes a tree and it's like, this old cycle has to stop. This has to stop. That's when the wand comes in, right? This is going to be a new move, whether you like it or not, Mr. King of Pentacles is what it's saying. And that's where the message I was saying a few minutes ago that came through really quick, the fact that his antlers have the full colors of that Kundalini spectrum, that's where it's like he is receiving this awakening. So this King of Pentacles is receiving this awakening. Gemini, I'm going to be really real with you. You are either the one delivering the awakening to somebody during this portal, or it is being delivered to you. So you need to consider which card you resonate most with, because it's definitely just, it feels like this King of Pentacles is sad and worried. And with his antlers lit up like that, it's like his crown, right? He's receiving all of that energy. And it becomes an awakening, right? It finally dawns on him. It finally clicks. And that's where we have this Six of Swords over here, which can often be about travel and transportation. The rainbow promises safe travels and transportation, but the Six of Swords here in this particular deck, I always see this as rain, and that's where it's always kind of gloomy and sad, and like you're driving in the rain. And with it being here at the end, it's like, right, something has to go. The rainbow starts matching up with this. That's the road. It's like maybe they need to go, or at least move into a different energy, move into a different time, place, location, pattern, something. This has got to stop. This has got to stop for sure. And with that cross again, that's where a cross isn't always, you know, in Christian mythology, it represents all kinds of things, but let's not forget the hardest part about the cross is that someone was crucified on it, right? And that's the whole thing. It's like, this is like a crucifixion energy. This is really hurting this energy over here. And it looks like the Kundalini confidence, all that stuff, like there's an awakening that just rises up. And this Kundalini energy is like, I have had enough. This has got to stop. This has got to come down. I need something fresh and new. Whether it's kind of like whether you stay or go, like I wish you safe travels, but this, yes, this is an awakening for you. Like, boom. There's a very serious energy coming off of that. I want just like one or two more cards. Oh, there they are too, to kind of finish this out. Two cards. I think they go right here. Wheel of Fortune. So the first impression it gave to me was, again, how this pentacle up here isn't colored in. There's none of this black here. There's nothing to fill in these holes. That's where, with the Wheel of Fortune, it's very much like this Queen of Pentacles is explaining. Well, you weren't giving me anything, or something like that. So I started filling in the holes for myself. And that's where she's had an awakening, right? She's already had partial awakening, and it's not until this tower hits and all this energy, it's like she summons this wand to her, right? And it all rises and comes back. But it's like in the meantime, and the Kundalini, and that's again with being coiled, it's like it has been a hot mess over here. The Wheel of Fortune represents good times and bad times, good luck and bad luck. And that's where it's an explanation of everything. It's like, I've been all tied up. I've had my awakenings, and I've been trying to stitch everything together for myself. You haven't seen that, Mr. King of Pentacles. And he hasn't, because it's just making that very clear. Like, this is not these strings that are filling in the holes over here. He wasn't aware of that. So that's where she's like, you know, I've had to try and take control. Obviously, I still can't fill everything in, but I've had to take control. And that's where I've made my own luck. And this explanation is the good or bad luck that sets this tower off and explains all of this, and is like, this is the conversation, right? It's overall a good move for her. It could be good luck in the end. It's kind of feeling like there's an open door over here for an energy to leave. Again, if this is just you as an individual within yourself, then this is what you feel and think inside and what your actions have been doing. And maybe that's where you've been overspending, and your inner self is like, whoa. And then it finally clicks one day, right? So whether it's a person leaving or an energy leaving, something got to change for sure. Because the rest of you been filling in the gaps, and it's just not, it's not working. Oh, nope. It said there's the door. That's a Three of Wands. Now, a Three of Wands is often a waiting energy. Like your ship's coming in, waiting on those things to arrive. This is very much coming up in this deck as a portal. And there's that Lionsgate portal. And that's what this Lionsgate portal is for you as well, Gemini. It's an opportunity for, it said dismiss, for you to dismiss energies out of your life that no longer need to be there. And again, with the rainbow, it said there's the awakening, right? There's the door. Safe travels. have fun, not gonna miss that energy. And it said at the same time, you are, because this is a King of Pentacles. This is very much a daddy figure, a husband, you know, this is someone important. And it said you are important, whoever this energy is. So there's that, like, we're still having this conversation is what it's saying. You are important. You're a cornerstone of all of this. But you have been very much hoarding everything for yourself. And you're just not acting very much like that King of Pentacles. It would be over here with us if not. Right? It wouldn't be tying us all up. It wouldn't be slowing things down. It wouldn't be making us struggle with our confidence. And that's where, we took those strings and we started filling in the holes for ourselves. And saying ourselves, so there could be multiple people involved in the situation. It's all kind of going to this King of Pentacles. So yeah, I had to like fill the holes in for myself, ourselves. I've had a big wake-up call. The wheel turned for me. I turned my bad luck into good luck, and they said, now I'm ready. Like, I'm rising up, right? Kundalini's ready. And if you're not ready for this new stuff that I'm bringing into my life, and that's definitely this Kundalini talking. If you're not ready for this new stuff that I'm bringing into my life to make my life better, to make our life better, then there's the door. Have safe travels. And this is saying like somebody, something was suspecting, expecting this to come along. And the moment is here. And that's where the ships are coming in, right? So it's like, it keeps wanting to wave and like go over there. So Gemini, this portal is opening up for you to dismiss people or energies from within yourself that no longer serve you in this life. And when you feel that confidence and that awakening rise up, it is time to send whoever or whatever out the door with love. There's the door. Safe travels, right? That is your message, Gemini. Let me know how that resonates for you. Please like, share, comment, subscribe as you see fit. I will catch you guys on the next batch of readings. Thank you so much. Bye.